It's now time for Me and My Roku with host Peter Clay.
Get that cat out of here.
Incidentally, this is Peter.
So we have a voicemail now from Peter.
Pete, you are not.
Not everybody sounds like Peter Clay.
This is what it's all about, isn't it?
Peter Clay is here today.
Holy crap, it's Peter. Wow. Oh, boy.
Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome to another fantastic, explainable, and delicious edition of Me and My Roku. I'm your host, Peter Clay, coming here about once a week or so, and just to say hello and to show what I do with the Roku. That's the me part. It's a me show, but not me in the, hey, look what I do, and you should do the same, and you should be just like me. Nope. I'm just telling you what I do, and hopefully that spins the wheels, that little mouse on the wheel there that says, hey, I can do something similar to that, or better. Who knows? That little spark, sometimes that's all we need, that little kick, because in these uncertain times, you spend your whole life saving for retirement, trying to get that promotion, trying to do everything, and all of a sudden, whack, it all comes and hits you in the head, and you go, hey, you remember all those things I've always wanted to do, like a Roku? Or cut the cord. I want to save some money. And sometimes it comes upon you, and sometimes you go upon it. And now you can do both. The times are upon us, and now we can move forward. We don't need that big, expensive cable bill anymore. We can just cut it in half by just getting the internet and then getting a Roku, or, lots of other options. Or just watch it on your phone, or just watch over the air antenna. There's lots of ways. But the Roku helps, and I'm here to guide that. So, hey, we have got a whole bunch to go through today, so let's get started. Okay, so to provide a little transparency here about what it takes to go through to make a podcast, and maybe with a lot of people working at home now, you can relate to this, but I have two of the sweetest cats in the whole wide world. I started into this venture with two cats, and now I still have two cats, but just two different cats. Just a little transition. So we fully transitioned, and these boys are fantastic. They just each have their own little quirks. One of them is the sweetest boy ever. He just has a knack of getting us up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And that is extremely annoying. And then he's incredibly cute and cuddly for the rest of the day and all that stuff. And then just as soon as you want to get angry, you just can't help but love him and all that stuff. The second cat is the sweetest boy in the whole wide world. And he doesn't make hardly any noise except for when he's really upset or when he catches his fake mouse. But he has this terrible knack of getting all cuddly and wanting attention while I'm recording the podcast. So every now and then you may hear a little knock of the microphone and all that stuff, and you know what it is. So full notice there of inside Me and My Roku there. So he's a sweet boy, but he just only wants attention when I think it's because he hears my voice, and he just is so in love with it that he needs more. Anyway, hopefully you feel the same way. So, okay, back to the news. Here we go again. Just as I had all my notes stretched out for the show and all that stuff and ready to go, we get breaking news. And it's one of those things again where, here we go. NFL Network and NFL Redzone has been taking off Sling TV and Dish Network. So, it's mid-June. There's nothing going on. There's no sports going on. NFL is acting as if they're going to go full bore in the fall for their season, but who knows? But it's just one of those things, like I said earlier, just when you think you're going to get that promotion or you're ready to retire, boom. So here we go. I made a decision. I thought long and hard, since there's no PlayStation View anymore. That was my home for NFL Redzone. I had decided, well, I'm going to have to go with Sling. And here we go. So by the fall, who knows? These all things may work out. And if there is even an NFL season, we don't know anything at this point. Every time we think we're going to get somewhere, we just don't, and all that stuff. And that's just the way it is. We're going to play the waiting game, and so I will play the waiting game on this. So no decisions need to be made right now, so there's nothing to. But it is news, and I'm here to live and give and all that stuff for that stuff. More news, HBO, again, I swear to God, one of these days I will not talk about HBO until they come back on the Roku, but they made news this week by saying, okay, we're going to simplify things, all right? No more of this HBO Go, HBO Now, HBO Max. There's just going to be two things, HBO and HBO Max. Now, in trying to simplify things, this has seemed to have complicated things for people, but it's okay. All it is one or the other. And so if you get it through cable still and all that stuff, you have HBO. If you have anything other than a Roku or Fire TV, there's HBO Max. So I think it's pretty simple and straightforward and all that stuff. I'm just waiting for the day that HBO Max comes onto the Roku, because that'll be a really nice addition to my Roku tree. I either have to watch it on my tablet or on my Android TV, and that's really frustrating. But it's okay. It's a good service. Plenty there to rot your brain with and all that stuff. You can go down a rabbit hole for days. But there's plenty of other things that I can do that on my Roku with as well. So we'll see on that. HBO also now is bringing back Gone with the Wind with a little caveat, a little thing that to say with a little commentary about what this represents and why this is bad, but this is art and this is why we're still showing it type of thing. Anything about Gone with the Wind you could learn, and its past and all that stuff and what it's representing and all that stuff, you can find on Wikipedia, and there's plenty of other documentaries and stuff like that. So again, I would rather have the choice of saying, hey, this material isn't proper for me, I'm going to decide not to watch it, and let others who will say, hey, this was the greatest film of 1939 and it beat out Wizard of Oz for Best Picture and all that stuff. What's this all about? And you watch it and you go, huh? But that's okay. But that has seemed to go by the wayside these days. So the free will and determinism debate is for another time. So that is the news for now on me and my Roku.
Hey, hey. Whoa, whoa.
Okay, we're back here on me and my Roku. I'm Peter Clay, enjoying spending time with you, sharing what I do. And many of the things I said I was going to do or planning to do it's an ongoing process. So I put up a website. It's basically just a Facebook page, but everyone's involved or can be involved in that. You don't necessarily have to be on Facebook to enjoy it. And so I thought, well, since this is a once a week podcast or so, I just thought, well, whenever my thoughts come up or I find a story interesting, I'll just put it up on there and all that stuff. And that happens every now and then, but not as frequently as I thought it was. Now, that's a really ringing endorsement, right? To get you to try and check it out. But keep checking it out, because I do get ideas and thoughts and every now and then, and I put stuff up. And one of the things I did put up this week was a complete list. I mean, a complete. I still get questions about private channels. It was one of the things that hooked me on to Roku in the beginning, and that was 10 years ago, because that's where a lot of things started out as private channels before they went public and all that stuff, like HGTV and things like that. The Nowhere TV was a big thing where you could get certain channels and stuff. And so that's kind of gone along by the wayside, because now everyone's pretty much on Roku. But there are some interesting things. I mean, this list is long, but it is also 2 years old. So use at your discretion. I have not had a chance to go through all of them yet, and I'm not going to probably go through all of them, but there may be some fascinating ones I may check out, because one of the other things I was kind of maybe holding off on this show, well, was hoping to have for this show, was a new toy. Yes, maybe a new Roku, maybe one with sound and a bar. Ooh, we'll see. You'll have to stay tuned. Maybe I'll do a special edition show on Monday and see how the weekend goes with that, or check out meandmyroku.com and see what I post. I might do a little video, a little unboxing. And so if there was an upgrade that you were thinking about, possibly, or were you thinking about, hey, I have an Ultra already. Why do I need a soundbar? I think, well, hey, we may find out this week. So check it out. Me and my Roku. Hey, are you a Star Trek fan? Who isn't, right? Huh. Anyway, all 8 of the films will be available on IMDb TV for free. Now, there'll be ads and all that stuff. And IMDb on the Roku, finding that is about as easy as finding a cryptocurrency. Okay, so you have to go real deep on the Amazon Prime app, the Prime Video app on the Roku to find anything on IMDb. They have one little line, and you have to go through like 12 lines to get to that. The easiest thing I found was to do a search, but how do you know which Star Trek films are going to be on right now? There's only 3 of them right now, and the rest will be on July 1st. So do a search for Star Trek, and you'll see what movies are available. Actually, a lot of them are still available on Prime right now. And Star Trek Beyond, Star Trek 4, and one other one is available on IMDb, and 8 of them will be available July 1st. Oh, you want more Star Trek? Well, because CBS Viacom is the rights holders to Star Trek. That's right. Pluto TV has a Star Trek channel. It's called Star Trek Unlimited. It's a limited time offer. It's unlimited Star Trek, but for a limited time, if that makes any sense. That's channel 661 on Pluto as we speak. Was watching The Next Generation just before I started recording. So, famous episode where a science officer from the Federation wanted Data decommissioned so he could observe and, create new androids and all that stuff. So, which then became a whole base of Picard. But hey, well, that's okay. And Picard's an android. But anyway, moving along. So if you are a big fan of Star Trek, there is plenty out there for you. And of course, CBS All Access, you can get every Star Trek that ever was. So there we go. Holding off on CBS All Access right now. They just sent me an email saying, we want you back. Remember, it's a big deal to cancel some of these things because you can get better deals later on rather than just keep forking over money every month. However, there's going to be a full redo of CBS coming in the fall then. So CBS, there's Pluto TV, then there's CBS All Access, and then a Showtime thing. So a ad-supported, a subscription, and a premium. That's how they're going to do it. So I'm holding off right now until I can figure all that stuff, until they can figure it all out what they're doing. But right now, Pluto, usually there's a thing that says what keeps going up. We kind of look at the economy is how can we keep having this much debt before it all collapses and all that stuff? How can Pluto keep ballooning up without popping? Well, they just keep going and going. So that's probably still the best service out there. So check those things out. That's a little update there here on me and my Roku.
Oh, sugar, sugar. Ooh, ooh.
Okay, kids, gather around. Come together, safe distance, no mask required, but just come together. But let's maintain a safe distance here, and let's have a little chit-chat here. I have for a long time talked about the Internet Archive and archive.org and asking that maybe consider supporting them. And along those lines, just basically just to know that they're there and all that stuff, and to thank them profusely for providing the bandwidth of this podcast and all the podcasts I've done since 2005. And they've been in the news lately, lots of things going on. And then, of course, with the pandemic and everything that's been going on, a lot of people have been coming up to them and asking how can they help and all that stuff. I've been offering my help and all that stuff and been asking you. And, well, lo and behold, I get a note from the Internet Archive itself. And they say this: with the Internet Archive being mentioned prominently in the news for the past couple of weeks, we've had thousands of people discuss us in social media and contact us directly with strong concerns and worries. Above all, many want in some way to help and have asked us what they can do, if anything. And they have said that while donations during this time have been appreciated, there's actually many things you can do beyond that, which will have a lasting effect. And the main thing they are asking right now is to use the Internet Archive site. It's there for all of us to enjoy and all that stuff and all the things. So maybe, yes, the emergency library is gone and all that stuff, there is still so much that you can use throughout there, including all my podcasts and all that stuff. But there's the Wayback Machine, and there's just so much there, and so many other things that they're working on. They just bought a record store in Seattle in hopes of preserving the 78 record collection that they've been talking about. Now, again, that's met with some resistance, especially with one senator is having copyright issues with that as well. But hey, look, if we don't preserve this stuff, it goes away. And that's one of the reasons why I use the Internet Archive is, hey, I have no kids. I have nothing to leave behind except this, what's going to happen to this wonderful voice when it goes? It's gone. But there it is in the Internet Archive for all to enjoy and all that stuff, plus other stuff. The Internet Archive concludes with, they're touched by everyone who has spoken of their love and support of the archive and its many missions, but this is also a time of much general uncertainty, economic, health concerns, and upheaval in society. The Internet Archive is our job and mission. Your job and mission is to take care of yourself and those closest to you. Without you, we are a bunch of hard drives on the Internet. We'll be here when you're ready. So with a statement like that, for me, I have never been prouder to have been working with the Internet Archive as long as I have, and how appreciative I am that they have provided the bandwidth and have asked nothing in return. And they have not come to me and said, yeah, you've been using up a little too much bandwidth there. We need you to go away now. They have never said that. And they have also provided the licensing for it, copywriting it, and making it Creative Commons. So I can't think of anything else. So we've all kind of lost our way. And it's nobody's fault, really. It's just life gets in the way sometimes. And like I said earlier, you work for that promotion, you saving for retirement, you're looking for days that aren't there and may never be there and all that stuff. And now it's time to refocus and all that stuff. So if there's a project that you want to do and the Internet Archive can help, it's there for you. It's a library. There could be information on there that could be useful to you to help you make the next step. Like I reiterate, the time is now to take care of ourselves first, and then let's just see what happens and go from there. I happen to think the Roku is a good distraction from all of that, but there's also useful things that the Roku can do to help you get that information, either through the Internet Archive or YouTube or anything along those lines. It's not just a rot your brain type of thing. There are informational purposes there for you as well. That's why I support the Roku, and that's why I support the Internet Archive. Check it out today at archive.org. Okay, news, notes, questions, and all that other good stuff before I check out for the week and all that stuff. And breaking news, while I was a little break in between segments there, the dog went crazy and all that stuff because the Roku soundbar has arrived. So it's still in the box. It's right next to me here. I took a picture and put it up on meandmyroku.com, and you can check that out. And then I will do a full unboxing later, and we'll see how it looks and all that stuff. So stay tuned on meandmyroku.com for all the good, glorious stuff on that. And maybe I'll do a pop-up podcast within the week and all that stuff, just to see how the weekend went. Because, I'm a busy guy too, but I still make time for my Roku. A couple questions, and this is one I just love so much. Randy says, I'm sure this has been asked before, which service is the best bang for the bucks? And yes, that is been asked many, many, many times before, and that's okay. There are no stupid questions. It's all good. How about, let me rephrase the question a little bit. How about for no bucks? There's plenty out there. So let's take the question at hand first, okay? Best value for what you're paying for and all that. And I you can make a case for everything. You can make a case for Netflix. $15 and you get all that they have to offer. If you cut everything, you cut the cord, and you have nothing else, there's plenty of room for a subscription service. Doesn't matter what it is. HBO Max, Netflix, Amazon Prime, all that stuff. Look at the value of Amazon Prime. Okay, $129.99 a year, or $13-14 a month, and you get the shipping, and you get all this incredible TV service. So that's one value right there. So you can make a case for them all. For us, I would have to say the best value is Hulu. For $6 a month, plus I don't even pay that, and I get it on the gift card, and you get 3 of the 4 networks, or 3 of the 5, we'll just say, and plus all the movies, all the specials, all the other cable networks that put stuff on there. So I find it hard to shake off. Another value, totally unrelated though. So say you can negotiate a special. You get an email, you get an offer for SiriusXM. And, that's music, and stuff like that. But you get SiriusXM in your car, on your Roku, on the app. And then on the app, then, since they merged with Pandora, you're listening to something on SiriusXM and you can make a Pandora station. So you have Pandora with SiriusXM. And say you can get that for under $10 a month. That's good value. So there's plenty of stuff out there. So, and then think of all the things that you can cut the cord with and then just not pay anything. No subscriptions. Pluto. Roku channel itself. The featured free functions that show everything that's free available through the Roku. So my big takeaway from that question is the big bang for the bucks is the Roku itself. Cut cable, get an internet subscription, the best value you can get and at the best, internet quality, and get a Roku. And the world is your oyster. That, to me, is the best bang for the buck, is the Roku itself. Rebecca asks, will Peacock have live local NBC like CBS All Access? Well, I don't know, because it comes out July 15th. Now, unless somebody knows who has Peacock right now through Xfinity, because Comcast owns that, we'll see. Now, I previewed the question on that, and I was kind of curious about it, because NBC has had a fine app all along. I've never really used it that much because anything that's on the NBC app, I can get on Hulu, except for some of their programs like House and The Equalizer, the original one. And so I looked at Peacock and looked at all they're going to have Downton Abbey, they're going to have The Office, and they're going to have a whole bunch of other, shows exclusive to them for a while. And they're offering an ad-free, they're going to have an ad-supported function, plus an ad-free and a premium involved in that as well. So it'll be all interesting. And they're offering one of the ad-free for $29.99 for a year. That's intriguing. So we'll see. CBS Access, like I said, is going to be redoing and revamping itself. But yes, you'll get your local, if it's approved and all that stuff, you'll get the local TV channel. We've used that in the past. I looked at the NBC and I saw that function available, but you would have to sign in with a cable subscription. That's how you get there. So now the question on that would be, if you're paying, say, the $9.99 version of Peacock, will you get the NBC? I don't know yet, but since they're offering it right now on the NBC app with a sign-in, I'm assuming, and we never do that here on Me and My Roku. And by we, I mean me. So, anywho. Well, I should get back to my Roku, since I have to unbox a Roku soundbar. So I'm getting a little itchy and a little twitchy about that. I'm staring at this box here, screaming at me, open me, open me. But before I take off and take care of that, a couple things I want to remind you is, in the spirit of the Internet Archive, thank you for listening to this podcast. And so you take care of you. Don't worry about me and all that stuff. I'm going to just keep doing what I'm doing and keep providing this. And so all that. As a thank you, though, I do have a 7-day free trial. If you've never tried Philo, to try that out. And that is philo.meandmyroku.com. Check that out today as just a little thank you. With all that's going on with sports and no sports and all that stuff, we were talking about bang for the buck earlier. $20 for 60 channels. You don't get much better than that. Just say you need a weekend or a week just to watch some shows and all that stuff. It's there for you. And it's a good service. So check that out today. philo.meandmyroku.com. I have been going crazy with my other new toy, an iPad, which I'm supposed to be doing recordings and stuff for me and my Roku and all that stuff, I have been just going crazy with getting gift cards and getting free programming. My whole month of June and July is all set up for that. So the most constant thing that I have done forever is swagbucks.radioaffliction.com. Check that out today and just learn all the different ways that I get gift cards. That's the most stable way. There's plenty, but that's the most stable and most consistent one that I've been doing for years now. And check that out today too. That helps as well. Once again, help yourself and all that stuff, but that is a good way to help yourself to get gift cards and all that stuff, so you don't have to take the expense of doing all these fun things and all that stuff, so you can still live and still enjoy things and not come out of your pocket. So I really appreciate everything that the Internet Archive is doing and the bandwidth that they provided. Thank them. Check them out again today at archive.org. If you want to subscribe to this podcast, that helps support us as well. Please do so at any of these many fine podcast providers. You ready? Here we go. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, YouTube, iHeartMedia, Podbean, and Radio.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Radio Affliction. You can send me messages there and all that good stuff. And you can follow me on Instagram at Pierre Argyle. And if you need more one-on-one questions and comments, email me at meandmyrokupodcast@gmail.com. Also, check out meandmyroku.com. No, I said that wrong. I apologize. Email me at meandmyrokupodcast@gmail.com. And then meandmyroku.com to check out all the different things. Then you can see my cute face and all that stuff too. So there you have it. I just colored my hair. My little missus needed her hair colored and all that stuff, and there was some left over, so we thought we'd do a dual hair coloring. So you can check that out on meandmyroku.com. Woohoo! All right, kids. Thank you so much for this. I'm hoping you are enjoying you and your Roku as much as I'm enjoying me and my Roku. And I'll be back with you real soon, and maybe sooner than you think. Take care.